Okay, hopefully that's worked out just fine. Gonna give it a minute and see if it has. All right. Just a couple more seconds till I can hear my audio coming back through. Yep, there it is. All right, guys, today we're going to be on Edgewater, Saskatchewan. This was the Road to 715 series I did on my channel quite a while ago. It's been a few months since I've done anything on the channel with the mic. I did some live streams a little while ago, but I haven't recorded anything. And that's been a matter of time, but that's something that now I have in excess. I'll explain that later, but right now we're here. I just want to walk through the farm and show off a couple of things, and then we're going to get into a fresh harvest. I have changed a couple of things since the series and played for a few hours, but yeah, we're just going to check this one out. We've got our John Deere 4755 with the rear duals that we started with, and Lemken Solitaire Cedar, Massey Ferguson 3670, which does have a front loader spike, and I was using that at one point for bales, but I haven't used it very much. There's our Vermeer baler. Yeah, this is what I started using for bales instead. It's a round bale grabber. We also have an Agrism 8-meter subsoiler because I was playing with periodic plowing required. So I'd use this nice Massey Ferguson 4900 alongside that subsoiler to get the plowing state. I was playing, I believe, with precision farming on at one point, but I turned that off. So we'll have to see if that's going to come back or not. But I've got it turned off right now because I'm not sure what was done and what's not. I don't want to screw up the harvest. Bought this planter just for this season to plant these soybean fields here. Cultivator over there because our cedar is not direct reel. I've got pallets just laying everywhere. You'll have to excuse the mess. But this has been packed up pretty well, I'd say. We've got a few inches of clearance between our auger wagon and the garage door, and then a few inches of clearance between the auger wagon and our lime spreader. I don't even know if I can walk through there. Yeah, I can. And our new Peterbilt 379, that mod just came out. I think it's called the Lizard 379. Yeah, but it is a Peterbilt. And I knew I was getting that right away because anytime I'm on the highway and one of those things rolls by, not anytime, but most of the time, I'll roll the window down, and because I love to hear the Jake brake. I love to hear the turbo spool as the engine works up a hill. Lots of fun. Actually, I need to open this garage door up, don't I? Alright, so first things first, let me turn off that. We're gonna change the store location to where it actually is, because I need to rent a combine. I don't have one. And just like the thumbnail says, I think we're going to go with the X9 this time, but we could also go with the Lexion. I love using these, but they're just way too loud to use when I'm recording. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So yeah, we're going to use the X9 US spec, and we'll give it the longer pipe. That's 28 grand. We're going to do the I'm going to do the 45-foot header, I think. I think so, yeah. And that's just because I'll need a header trailer too, won't I? Some of these fields are pretty tight. I'll show you on the map here. Some of these fields, especially these areas in here, are really tight. It'd be tough to get a 50-foot header in there. Obviously, it's only a 5-foot difference, which isn't much, but honestly, I should have probably been using a 35-foot header anyways. Before this one, I did also buy another field. Yeah, I bought field 27. We do have a $150,000 loan. Do we have anything to sell? No. A couple things, but that's the pallets I was talking about. Right, I need to get this header trailer before I forget. We got 15 grand. We should be able to survive like an hour of using this thing without going further in debt. Oh, I just realized I had my audio off on the game. I hope that wasn't off on stream. get this thing on the trailer, and we'll get it up to the fields. As of now, the only things ready to go are my wheat and oat fields. Actually, I don't know if I have any wheat. Let me check. I got 3 fields of oats, and they are all ready to go. There's also a lot of ready-to-harvest fields down there, so I could see myself taking out a big loan and getting a nice big field, but that kind of... We'll just see how it goes. We'll see how long it takes to harvest all this stuff. It only takes me like an hour and a half, then I'll probably take a loan and get another field. Get the flashers on. Got the beacons on too, but they're the strobe beacons, so you can't really see them unless you ride up on them. I think I need to go down. And then I did not need to go down. I needed to go up. I'm gonna take a nice little trip through the ditch here. Don't worry, I don't own this combine, so it doesn't matter if I break it. It's a good mentality right there. You'll have to excuse my voice. A little rough this morning. Not sure exactly why. I can't change that. Alright, I gotta send this string to a couple people. I need to take this turn, don't I? Yep. Alright, there we go. Alright, I got it sent out. This thing moves on at a pretty good clip, doesn't it? 26 feels fast in combine. See, it's just bouncing up and down, that's fun. That's one thing about farming that is a little interesting to me. Most of the suspension on the tractor is in the seat. You bounce up and down instead of the wheels popping up and down. I guess I should have gone straight up that road up to 27, 28 in the top left, shouldn't I have? Oh well. Yeah, this 45-foot header might be a little big. Even. I probably should have gone with a... I don't even know what I'd go with instead of the X9. But I also have the 2 soybean fields that I'll get to eventually, so we've got a fair bit of land. What is this crop to the left? Is that flax? It looks an unnatural purple. Quite unnatural. Oh, this is our fields, ain't it? Yeah. This is our soybeans here off to the right. They look good, but of course they always do, because the game has every single year, every single crop looks the exact same year to year. It'd be nice to see that change, but I don't see an easy way for them to make that change. Oh, crap, I missed my turn. Take it on back. Let me know if audio levels and all that's good, because I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm not sure what they're looking like. Okay, here's the turn we need. Hopefully I can fit this header through the farmyard. I'm going to park the trailer in the farmyard. I know I can for the bean field, but I don't know about this oat field over here. I haven't really done a ton with it. We'll see. Honestly, I could have gone with the short pipe on this X9 because I only did the 45-foot header. I was planning on doing a 50 or even 60 footer, but then I remembered how tight the fields are in some spots. It sucks because the fields, they're quite large, like field 5, field 8. If there's no fence in between those, that's a huge field that you can put together. But it's got spots like this up here that are so tight and hard to turn around on with a big header and a big seeder. So that's one of the things I like about this map. It kind of forces you to think about the size of your equipment, whereas other maps, yeah, it makes sense to run something that fits the field, but you can do whatever you want. Like on the base game maps, you can run a 100-foot toolbar seeder if you want to, even though obviously it's huge. Which, you know, is part of the fun of Farming Simulator, I guess, using whatever you want, wherever you want. This is a more realistic map. It makes you think about the sizing of everything. Right. Oops, I hit a fence. I'll tell my insurance agent. Get the straw swath on. And let's get after it. Pitter patter, let's get at it. We've officially started our harvest and we already missed a piece. Nice. As I said, this is oats on Edgewater, Saskatchewan. Road to 715 series. I started this back when the Case IH 715 quad track was a brand new mod many months ago, with the dream of starting a regular series and working my way up to being able to afford it legitimately, because I have a habit of starting the series, doing a couple of years on the series, and then getting tired of it and not actually accomplishing all that much, so I wanted to change that. But what did I do? I started it, ran it for a couple of years, and got tired of it, so kind of just became like all the other series I've done. Recording and not, I do that even when I don't record. My longest running save game is from Farming Simulator 17, and I've got like a ton of equipment on that one, of course, but I do have a habit of doing that, so I was trying to break that cycle. Dang it, I missed another spot. But I also know that I like to come back to series after a while, so I never delete them, or I try not to ever delete them. And I didn't delete this one, and I'm thankful because now I'm wanting to get back into it. Of course, it's only, what, 10 days before Farming Simulator 25 comes out, so I don't have much time to enjoy this. I need to already pre-order that game and plan to play it when it comes out. It's actually one of the reasonings I had for doing this stream. I was planning on just playing this to relax on a Saturday or whatever, doing the harvest because I knew it had to be done. But I want to stream at the start of FS25. I figure I'd do the American map, which is called Riverbend Springs, as a live stream series, and then do the Hutan Pentai, or however you pronounce that one. I apologize if I was wrong. I would do that one as a either time lapse or microphone voiceover series, because that map, honestly, the Asian map, the Hutan Pentai, seems like a better map to me. Seems like I'll enjoy it more. Obviously, you have to have a a North American map of some sort. You don't have to, but gosh, it would be unfortunate to not have that in the base game for all the American players. But yeah, so, you know, I think it's definitely a good thing that we have an American map, and it's an interesting part of the U.S. I don't know much about the agricultural side of the Mississippi area. But yeah, I think as far as map design goes, the Asian one seems a little cooler, so I'll be checking that one out, doing all the props on it. Hopefully, we are actually really close to full. I wasn't really paying attention. I was supposed to give myself a little cutout, but I didn't. I'm gonna put the header right on the fence. See if I can give myself enough room to get the auger wagon in on the other side of the fence, and we'll overload over the fence. And I'll need the 4900 here. Give that a chance to warm itself up while I take a drink. Probably good enough for now. This thing needs some paint. We will need to get the Peterbilt 379 out eventually, but since this field is right on my farmyard, I don't need to do that right now. Oops, there goes a pallet. I don't know if the cover is over on my semi. If it is, then I'll have to get the Peterbilt out to take the cover off. But if the cover's not off, then I can just, or if the cover is off, sorry, then I can just unload right into it. Let's see right here. Nope, covers are on. That's a shame. Alright, let's whip it around. Definitely not encouraged to have your auger out anywhere near these power lines. But obviously this is a game, so there's no danger at all. You don't even have to touch them for the electricity to arc onto your steel auger. And that's, you know, that combine's grounded, so you're gonna feel some shock probably. I know a couple farmers in my area that have died from sprayer booms or augers hitting power lines. That's really unfortunate. It's pretty tough to look out the side of your cab. You can't even see the auger as it's coming out, so it's hard to know how high it's going to be unless you know what you're doing. You have the experience using that auger, so definitely got to be careful with that. Again, it's a game. That takes all the stress out of it. I am quite excited for the new game. I think the stubble textures look a lot better, significantly better. I hope oat has improved a lot. There's been several maps that have had a better wheat and barley texture, but I've never seen one with a better oats texture. I'm not sure why exactly it is, but from the top down it just looks really sparse and sickly. Yeah, I don't love that. I don't know how realistic it is. I don't see a lot of those where I'm from. Yeah, it doesn't look great. But yeah, the stubble is also kind of laughable for a 2021 game, so hopefully it gets better in the new one. It is much better than I could do, for sure, but I feel like it could be done better. I noticed that when I played Forza Horizon 4 and Farming Simulator 17. They both came out in 2016, I think. And Forza Horizon is a racing game, an open world racing game, whereas Farming Simulator is a simulator about agriculture, and the name is pretty clear. And the crop textures in Forza Horizon 4 were so much better than in Farming Simulator 17, and that just was kind of appalling to me that a racing game had better crop textures than a farming game. And the crops were only on the fields for like one season of the year as you fly by in your Porsche or whatever you're driving. There's no need for the farm to look that good. It's for the immersion factor. But this is a farming game. The crop should look much better because that's the entire game is crops. But it's a much different size of studio. Forza Horizon sells many more copies than Farming Simulator, and definitely has a bigger pull to it. The field seems to be yielding pretty well. I don't think oats yield super high, but they yield fairly high. More than soybeans or lentils or something like that, but not quite as high as corn and barley, to my knowledge. Okay. I picked up one of the scraps that I missed earlier, so no one can complain about that one. I figured this 45-foot header, shoot, I missed another piece, is making quick work in this field. It's only going to be like a 30-minute harvest for this field here. Probably get it on a worker here. I don't think I can get the Massey around to unload it quick enough, though. I'd like to unload on the go, but this field is really small. This tractor's not super fast. Oh dang, it already filled up. I was not expecting it to be that quick. Alright. This unloaded, and while it's doing that, I'm going to get the semi connected, get it into the shed. That sounds good. As it should. I mean, I'd be a little disappointed if the Peterbilt didn't sound very good. As I mentioned earlier, I like to put my window down when these go by and hear it. Especially when they're downhill to hear that brake brake. I'll just put it right here on this road here. Take back over on the harvester. I'll turn on my lights. Don't need those at 10 o'clock in the morning in August. Once this field is done, we'll load it up and take it up to the 28. I don't know how well 27 was taken care of because I bought that ready to harvest. Or maybe not quite ready to harvest yet, but with oats planted on it. I sold last year's peas that were there before the other field. I can check that. Looks like it was doubly fertilized, so it'll have the max output there. And doesn't need yield, or lime I mean, so its yield will probably be maxed out, better than my own field. Might be one of those things you should check out before you buy your field, but in the end it didn't matter to me. I would have liked to have bought the field 29 right next to it, because I don't think there's a fence in between, so I could have just plowed them together in one big field, but I didn't have enough money for that. Wait till next year. Feel free to let me know how audio levels are. I can't really hear very well if my mic is loud enough or if the game's too loud or whatnot. Harvesting oats on Edgewater, Saskatchewan. Once we get I've got 3 fields of oats to do, and then we've got 2 fields of soybeans in a couple of months' time after this. You also have the straw to get baled off the fields and the potential to purchase other fields that are ready to harvest on the map. There's quite a few of them. If we just check here, pretty much this bottom right sector is full of ready to harvest fields. I don't have the money for them, but there is a thing called a bank that just gives you free money. You can buy stuff with it. You gotta pay it back with interest, but no problem. Gonna be full again soon. I didn't expect to get 3 combine loads off the field. I'll get at least 3, if not 4. Grab this speck I missed. What's everybody doing today? Friday morning, then going. Stop in the Massey. I'm gonna have to unload this thing. Should be able to just cut right through the trees though. Friday has been okay. Not too bad, not too great. Nothing special really has happened. I ate breakfast and tried to figure out the live stream because I had some things to sort through. Normally I'd be at work, but pretty slow right now, so I've got Fridays off for the time being. I think I'll try and use them for streaming, but I don't know how long they're going to last. So, see how long this continues. Supposed to unload front to back, my bad. It'd be nice if the company told me how long I'd be off on Fridays so I could look at getting a second job or something, but I don't want to start something I can't finish when Fridays come back, so just do this and see how long it takes us. Does help that a new game's coming out, so that'll be something nice and fresh I can have some fun with. 11 days, I think, is the number we're at right now. Oh, the new game comes out. That is. I don't have my watch on me, so I can't make absolutely certain that it's November 1st. That's usually what comes after October 31st, if I'm correct. Oh, look at that, I'm right. It is November 1st. How full is this guy? Already 60% again. Yeah, on the bigger fields, this is going to be just with one harvester. I find that hard to believe. It's only got the 45-foot header and it's already being a little difficult to keep up with just one of them. Usually with one guy, it's hard to run it's hard to run 3 combines by yourself without horseplay or auto drive or anything like that. But this one combine is kind of giving me a run for the money here. I guess it was because I had to unload it with the semi, but still. The yield is pretty good. Semi's already 85% full. That's crazy. I can probably finish up the field on this tank of this hopper. I don't know how well workers work on this field or in this map in terms of driving places. It'd be ideal to finish up this field and just have a worker drive the combine up to the next field while I sort out the auger wagon and semi, get them unloaded where they need to go and then up to the field. But I don't know if that's going to work. It works pretty well in the base game maps, but sometimes the modded maps don't include that feature anymore. I'd say more often than not, I try to use them on a modded map and they don't work. So it's nice when it works, but that's a big feature of FS22, just not included in the map. It's probably a lot of work there, I would imagine. How long have we been streaming? That'll tell us how long the field's taken. 30 minutes, yep. Figured. Holy cow, we're at 6 lights already. Thanks everyone. I think it's typical to have more likes than you have current viewers, but I'm not complaining. Yeah, I thought that a header would get that, so there must be some weird width on the header. It's a little more narrow than it looks like. Must be. I don't use the 45-foot header that much at all. Because the only combine it works with is the X9, which is what I'm using right now. But the X9 also has a 50-foot header, so I always just use the bigger one. But yeah, this map has got some pretty tight contours in the fields that are a little too narrow for a 50-foot header, so I'm going to try out the 45. And it's honestly, this combine is too big for what I'm doing. A little big. I should have gone a little smaller, but live and learn. Let's see if it'll fit through there. Doesn't look like it. We'll try it. Oh wow. Scrapes the bark off both trees, but it'll fit. Nice. Definitely would not want to do this in real life. You take the header all the way out to the field, but I don't have time for that. So we're just going to do it this way. I have no idea what crops we're putting on the field next. Obviously we got to get the straw off of there first, but I think we ran obviously oats and soybeans this year. I don't remember last year. That's the handy part about recording everything. You can see what you did in the past. But yeah, I don't remember what it was. I would imagine probably wheat or barley and something else. That's usually what I do. Create job. All right, let's see how it works. Can you just go right there? No, I want you to go a little further that way, yeah. It's gonna try. That's good. Let's see how successful it is. Probably should have turned the hazards on. I don't even know if I've got traffic on. Let me see. Yeah, it is. High possibility that Combine runs into a unsuspecting civilian, but that's not my problem. I think this should all fit, but I could be wrong. I hope it fits. It probably won't. It looks like it's filling up too fast. That's a shame. Bloody shame. Peterbilt unloaded and then I guess load it back up again. The good thing is we've got oaks in the next field, so we don't have to have a semi-trailer empty before we go. Yep. Let's just turn the traffic off so that guy can figure out what he's doing. I figured he would hit someone. Store these for now. Price may be okay, but I'm just gonna store them. I can check, I guess. No, it's gonna be a January sell time. It is August right now, so we've got a few months to wait. Front compartment only holds 15,800 liters. I thought it was like 20 something. I guess I can leave the extra oats just in the auger wagon. I don't need to put them in the semi anymore. I'll just keep them in the Combine made it, supposedly. How accurate that is. Weird sounding horn. A lot of sounds going on with this truck. Okay. This is our bean field off to the right. We'll be harvesting that later on today, hopefully. If everything goes well. I know the first year on this farm we started with flax. I don't know what we did after that. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. I mean, crop rotations are nice to do, but you don't have to. Maybe a little fast for gravel. There for now. Have the slow tarp feature, or does it just not have a tarp? No, I guess it doesn't have the tarp on it. Probably should have put that on there. This mod has a nice electric tarp cover. You can see it actually rolling out across the back of it, whereas most tarps in the game just instantly turn on or off. Let's see if this one can make it. Doing some weird twitching stuff. Okay, whatever. Take your time, sir. I'm only paying you by the hour. Oh, I turned the wrong way. Hey, I can be pretty dumb sometimes. I hope this one fits. That's an oops. That's another reason to use the 45-foot header. I don't think the 50 would fit at all. 45 barely fits. There's not really much room here to turn around. I'll pull a header trailer in there and dismount the header there. Kind of have to do it here. I usually hit this fence post, so we'll see if we can avoid it and get all the oats. Yes, mission success. That last field I did, I've only harvested once or twice, but this one, I've harvested every year I've done the map. I don't know what year it is right now. I think statistics will say. Let's see if we can check that real quick. Years played 3. How did I hit that? Oh, there was one hiding in the bush. I didn't see that one, my bad. So I've done 3 years now, which means 3 harvests of this field and the field 1, the big soybean field that we've got as well. But this field to our left I've never touched, keeping on a contract. And then field 50, I've only harvested once, maybe. I think I was running precision farming at one point, but I don't remember for certain. I'd like to turn that on, though, after this harvest. That'll just make it a more accurate, more realistic challenge to keep the yields high. Instead of being able to just turn off spread lime and turn off weeds and whatever else, you have to actually tick a lot of boxes in order to keep the yields perfect. And it even takes into account like how much you drive on the soil. So you get like economic penalties or environmental penalties if you use a plow versus no-till. No-till planting gives you a little bonus. If you drive around on the field a lot, like if you use a really small header, you're obviously using more fuel than if you used a big header. You're doing more soil compaction, so you get a higher penalty, if you will. Obviously that's not super realistic, but it's a good way of making real life factors in farming penalize and benefit you in the game. The co-op doesn't hand you a $500 check if you no-tilled your field, but you probably get more yield throughout the years if you no-till, so that's just how they do that. More yield means more money, so the game just cuts you flat check. In real life it wouldn't work like that. These little terracing things here, that happens when you generate the map. The map maker may have made this a really smooth curve, but obviously in order to save file size, the level of detail in maps is dumbed down so that it can fit on consoles. All I've got to do is just get a little plow out here and we can make the edges of the field nice and smooth. Smooth curves, smooth straights. It's like, I mean, this is a, oh shoot, I'm full. I just drove over some of this. This is a prime example though. This field was probably pretty smooth, but now there's a harsh cutoff right here. And like, I don't know, that's just it doesn't look great. Okay, let's pull this as close to this side as we can and get Massey in here with the auger wagon. I guess to answer our question, the AI helpers do drive on the map, at least where I told them to. You might have difficulty sending them to other parts of the map. That is a nice feature, because instead of you guys watching me drive 3 pieces of equipment up here, and me having to drive 3 pieces of equipment up here, I just had to do it once with the semi. Definitely a nice feature. And in the new game, that'll be kind of what the in-game workers do on the fields. They can do everything I'm doing right now. I don't know if they can do the unloading with the auger wagon like I'm doing right now. But you can just, like, with this game, you have to run 2 laps around the edge of the field, and then you can set them off on you can turn on a worker, and they'll just go straight back and forth. But they're pretty dumb, so they miss a lot of spots. The new game, hopefully, you just get to the front of the field, turn on the worker, set up a little course, and it'll run the laps around the field for you and fit everything. It'll get everything, supposedly. So we'll see how well that works. But they have definitely promised a lot with the new AI workers. Of course, your graphics are going to look a lot better, and or some people think they look a little bit better, but I don't know. I'd say it's a pretty good step up. Lighting is probably a little better. They've added volumetric fog, so like you can see way off in the distance there's trees. It's perfectly clear. It'll be foggy, which should help make things look a little more cinematic, maybe less realistic. And they've added crops, so the gameplay's gotten a little better, the graphics have gotten a little better, and they've added more features and whatnot. It'd be nice to see more improvement over 5 years, or sorry, 3 years, but I don't know. It's not like they're charging $80 for a game. 80 to $100, they're charging 50. I'd like to see how many workers you could have going in the new game. I think the limit is 10 without mods on this game. But as I said, the workers kind of suck, so you kind of have to take it as it comes. You have to put in work to get the worker to work for you. New game, in theory, you can just drive your equipment, or not even drive them. Maybe you could even do what I've been doing and tell the workers to drive to the field and they'll start by themselves and whatnot. I have to do some toying around with that. I'm actually surprised there hasn't been any early access yet in terms of like content creators getting a copy of the game and getting to play it. They've gone to events and been able to play it for like an hour, record and whatnot. I like that. I don't like when creators get the game early on, a lot of times for free, just to play the game early, because number one, if I'm excited about a new game and I'm watching a bunch of YouTube videos about it before I can actually play it myself, I have a tendency to get tired of it before I've even touched it. And number two, now as a small content creator, there's no way I would get to play the game for free or early access. I don't have a following, I'm not a Giants partner like some of them are. Although that would be fun. I don't know, it kind of takes away from smaller creators. And I thought that before I was a small creator as well, but now it's actually a real thing. all I can post is the old game, and there's other creators getting to post the new game that everyone wants to see, so you're kind of getting all your content is less relevant. Anyways, I like the way it's been going now. We're 10 days out, and there hasn't been a single early access copy given out. But you're still allowing the public to see the game play and whatnot by having these events where they can go to and record their videos and whatnot. So it's been, I like this style a lot better than what 22 was, because I remember channels like Daggerwin and DJ Goham putting out 5-10 episodes before I even got the game, and I bought it a few days early on pre-order, so no biggie, just something I was thinking about. We're gonna need to unload pretty soon. Might make it close. It'll make it closer, obviously, because it's not full yet, but it might make it pretty close to that tractor. Can you get me a snack? Good thing I caught when it was ready to unload, though, because last time I drove through my crops and lost some money. Yeah, there is no field between these, or there's no fence between these two fields, so I could just plow up that little grass strip and turn these into two. They're already two decently sized fields, but I can make them into one pretty large field. Little bit of a weird shape, especially that corner there, but hey, it'll be. It's always nice to have a much larger field. You can get away with using larger equipment, which is more cost efficient and time efficient. Get that unloading, and I'm gonna grab a granola. Alright, we'll get around to the other side of the field and set it up on a worker on a straight shot down the back. I gotta get this auger wagon unloaded. Mike picked up that wrapper pretty good. Funny. One of the reasons, of course, I want to run much larger fields and bigger equipment is because I want to get the whole reason I started this map was for the Case IH 715 quad track. It was a series called Road to the 715. It was the highest horsepower production tractor. Now John Deere's come out with a larger four-wheel track tractor, 9RX 830, but I wanted to get it legitimately and run pretty big equipment on this map. I love this map. It's one of my favorites. Wouldn't make sense to, you know, run a giant tillage machine that can get this field done in 10 minutes with the 715, so you obviously need to have a fair bit of land and good sized fields to run it, so that's kind of where Headspace has been at. Plus I have a habit of wanting to do as much as possible with the fields I've got. I don't really do it anymore, but I used to, like, literally get as close to the fence as I could. I'd take a plow and plow up a field as close as I could get to the fence the whole way around to maximize the yields for my land. There's no need to do that. I used to do it a lot though. I wonder how much weight that wooden bridge is supposed to take. Because I'm about to take a pretty heavy combine and tractor over it here in a few minutes. A bunch of 4x4s. Let's get caught up with the combine because it's about full. Then I'm gonna grab the Massey and get the baler on it. Get this pulled out to where the field is. Shoot, I never came back for the first spot I missed. Oops. Pushing a lot of oats around. It's only been an hour. I should have gone with GPS on the combine because I'll want it for well, actually there's not much space. There's not very many fields that are good for workers on this map because again, workers are only good at going straight up and down one direction, so like these two fields plowed together would be probably the best option because a worker can do a lot straight up and down there. This field is good, but it's not that big, so you can't really set a worker on it and forget about it for a while. But that's part of what makes this map so unique, is all the crazy field shapes. I'm gonna load the combine, then dump into the semi, and take the semi to unload in the grain bin, and by the time I get back, the combine will undoubtedly be full again. We'll see if we can beat it. If we can beat the combine getting full. I think if you wanted to do that, though, you'd have to have a second player, somebody running just the semi and grain cart, and somebody else running just the combine. I have never played multiplayer FS22 with someone I know. I've jumped on for probably like 10 minutes, not with anyone I know. Hop in here, turn this thing on. The moment it's full, we're pulling out. See if we can get back to the farm, unload it, get back here before it's full. Need to move that header trailer. I like the sun visor from the outside. From the inside, it kind of blocks my view. Just took a 90-degree corner at 40 mile an hour, y'all. It's not. Definition of hustle. Speed. 42 losers, 1. Alright, let's check on how we're doing. 50%. Uh-oh. We are unloaded though, so we will get back faster than we came out here. But he's over halfway full by the time we get to unloading. So I don't think it's very likely we'll make it, but that's what I was thinking before we even started. Tarp back onto the aerodynamics. I'm just kidding, it doesn't matter. Semi is completely flat square in the front. Aerodynamics same thing with this. I guess there's no need to honk, there's no traffic on. I turned it off so the workers could leave it down. There's 80% full. The steer just about got destroyed. Alright. I'm not even gonna bother unloading that. Okay, there, he filled up. We did make it. That was good. I was hoping, honestly, to make it before, so that I'd have enough time to get in the grain cart and drive that up to the combine to keep him running so he never had to stop. But I knew that wasn't going to happen. But still, that's impressive. You can really push a semi to go quick if you need to in a game. Don't do that in real life, please. I don't need a semi flying by me at 50 in the gravel. It's better to flip the semi around empty than loaded, so we're going to do that before we put anything in it. I'm not going to take that semi over the wooden bridge. We'll just leave it on this side and the tractor can drive over the wooden bridge. Probably the safest and best option. Maybe it's almost lunchtime. Hey, that's what it is in the game too. Let's see if we can get our clock in the game to show up with real time, or central time at least. What on that? I'll trust this worker to do that turnaround right, so I'm going to force it for him. How's everyone's Friday going? 1 to 10. Give it a 7 because I got to sleep in and I'm playing my favorite game. Doesn't get a ton better than that. Combine's gonna be close to full again pretty soon. Ready. Alright, let's see what kind of bale size we're working with here. 180, yep, that's what we want. I don't know if soybeans drop straw. I know they don't base game, but I don't know if I have a mod going or something that will let that happen. I don't think I will, though. I don't think I'll do soybean straw. Just because I've never heard of anyone doing that where I'm from. And I don't want to have that many bales. That's a lot of bales. The majority of my field space is soybeans. Let's go get this little strip over here before we head back down the field and forget about it like we did the other field. think this will be quite the last pass. All the way down at the end of the field will probably be a bit too wide. It'll be close. Not too bad. Hour and 20 minutes into the stream and you're already done with 2 fields. 2 out of 3 oat fields. Still got technically 2 bean fields, but I plowed them together into one big one. This load will probably fill up the semi. I'm gonna do that real quick. Oh, it might not be too wide actually. I think that combine's getting it all. Yeah, nice. We can run a rare double dump here. It won't be a very big double dump. Double dump meaning the combine and grain cart will both be dumping into each other and the semi. Oh, missed a spec. Let's grab that. I think this is the first farming simulator that allows a double dump. I tried it in 17 and it didn't work. I guess 19 might have. I never played 19. I want to put this just about right there. Hop in then. Oh. I messed that one up pretty bad. It still double dumped a little bit. I was wrong, it didn't fully empty, or it didn't fill the semi, but it doesn't matter, it's close enough. 93% is good enough for me. I don't know if that header's going to make it, but we can probably just drive straight over that fence. Yep. Make sure you close your eyes so you didn't see that part. I'll need the insurance hearing about that, or the rental company, because I don't own this company. Alright, so since I didn't plant this field, it was planted by the AI, they're going to miss big patches like that, which is annoying. But this crop is effectively free, because I bought the field and it came with the crop on it, so I'm not going to complain too much. And as good as my yield has been on my other 2 fields that I've done, this should be even a little better. Which is rare. Usually the computer-run farmers don't actually fertilize their crops. You usually take better care of them, but I didn't spread lime on my field than they did on theirs, so they're looking better. Welcome in everyone. This is the 3rd and last oat field on Edgewater, Saskatchewan that we're going to get harvested at pretty quick. Got good yields so far. I'm about to take my 3rd semi-truck full after just 2 fields. After the oats are done, we got to, of course, bale the straw and get those off. And we've got 2 pretty large soybean fields to get to as well. I doubt we will take out a loan and get another field because there's still quite a few fields that need harvested, but that is a possibility if I get all my fields harvested and still want to be doing more. This is a series I started to try and save up for the Case IH 715 tractor when that came out. I still have yet to do that, so we are getting close. This is going to be, I think, $1 million year in terms of harvest selling. I could sell it for $1 million, but that's the case sells for a little more than $1 million. Plus, I have to buy equipment and land in order to justify having such a large tractor. So I don't think we'll get it this year, but we're getting close. Been 3 years of playing on this map, and we're getting close. Who knows? I may be able to get it before the new game comes out. 11 it is. We'll see. Yeah, this yield is significantly better. I'm already almost full. I'd say probably a good 15 to 20% yield boost just from spreading lime when it needs it. I did spread lime, but I was using precision farming, I believe, and when I turned off precision farming, it auto defaults to you need to spread lime again, and I didn't do that because obviously I'd already done it. I didn't want to spread lime twice. Take it as a controlled loss, and that's okay. I probably should have done this cutout a little sooner. There's trees are a little close to get a grain wagon in here without cutting out space. Yeah, that ought to be enough room. Nice when a mod comes out that you want to get and you already have the money in one of your save games. That's the case with that Peterbilt 379 semi I've got. I had a semi, I had some extra money lying around, and I sold the semi and bought the Peterbilt because I wanted it. And I'm glad I did. Love them. If I had a farm, better believe it would have a Peterbilt on there somewhere. I like cars a lot. It's like I like farming a lot, and I think it'd be kind of cool to have kind of double-decker flatbed trailer or something with a bunch of nice cars on it, getting pulled by a big Peterbilt 379. Everything all blacked out on the semi at least. That'd be pretty sweet. Alright, let's take that semi back. Looking trucks, a lot of the truckers use beefed up versions of these at the company I work for. They ship out the projects we work on. They pull in with these. They're heavy hauls, 80,000 plus pounds just on cargo. Plus you got the weight of the semi and the trailer and all that. They have to run escorts in front and behind because they're really wide loads. And it's just pretty cool hearing them in the warehouse firing up. And they like to honk their train horns before they pull out of the warehouse when they're fully loaded. It's always nice. A taste of home in the big city. Green sign is a government subsidy. That's one of the things I did change on this map since recording. I was enjoying the pace, but it was a little slow, and I got a little tired of it, so I decided to get that sign for government subsidy. It's not all that unrealistic. It's a bit of a cheap thing to do, though. gives me $8,400 every month as a government subsidy. I don't know exactly how government subsidies and grants and whatnot work, but I know that that is a thing with farming. Some farms are subsidized, some aren't. I just put that on there because basically it just gives us a nice little passive income for months like these. I'm going to end the month with probably a negative balance because I'm renting equipment and I don't have the money for it. I've already used the combine for more than an hour. 1.1, yeah, when it gets to 2 hours, it's going to charge me another 10 grand and I'll go negative, so that'll just help to give me a nice little boost. My pallets. Oh, there was one stuck out over there. I thought I hit two, but I only saw one. It's because the other one was stuck there. Alright, I'm gonna make the worker drive this one. So I need to get this harvester going again. Next to farm, kids. So I think after this year, I'm going to come through with a plow and even out all these harsh corners that don't belong in the smooth edge field. I'll just get a little plow and touch them up to make them look nice. I could probably just use the landscaping tool, but then I'd be like making my field smaller instead of making the lines smoother. Plus, the landscaping tool is expensive. And I'm broke. AI worker is blocked by an object. I wonder if that's why my computer dropped frames. It got really stuttery 5 minutes ago. Not quite 5, quite like 2 minutes ago. I wonder if the AI worker was doing a bunch of calculations trying to figure out how to get around something. Probably alright. Oh, he's blocked by the header trailer that I need to move. Okay, he turned himself off. Sweet. Sometimes they'll just sit there and keep charging you money. Not doing anything. Not ideal. Suppose we could talk about where this money from this year is going to go. I should figure that out. I'll do it a little bit. I only have one large four-wheel drive tractor, and that's that Massey over there in the distance. And I need to run the grain cart during harvest and the cultivator during when I'm doing tillage and the subsoiler. I don't need to do all at once, but I do need to run that cultivator or some sort of cultivation tillage device because my seeder is not direct drilled. If I get a bigger seeder that's direct drilled, it's going to need to be run by this Massey. So regardless, I'm running the Massey during planting and harvest, no matter what I do. So it'd be ideal to have a second one, because obviously right now I don't need a second tractor going. I'm running the harvester, the semi, and the grain cart all at once. That's a lot to juggle. I can't juggle a fourth thing. Plus there's straw on the field, so I can't just like hire a worker and get him going because there's straw on the field to plow through. But in other years, when I'm not dropping straw or on the soybean fields, while I'm doing the soybean harvest, I could be having a worker going on something else if I had a second four-wheel drive tractor. Plus, this one has, I think, about 400 horsepower, maybe even less. We should get something with a little more. Instead of jumping from this straight to the Case IH 715, I think I should jump from this to it, kind of find a stepping stone in between the two. So it's highly likely that's what the money from this year will go towards. Another field or two, paying off $100,000 of debt at least, because I'm 150 grand in debt. And then getting a larger tractor and equipment. I would say sell the cultivator and the smaller seeder and get something bigger. It's 12 meters. The next the next biggest direct drill would be 18 meters. And it's got an air cart, so it would hold a lot more seed, but that's a really big machine to turn around on these tight corners. So if I were to go straight to that, I'd probably have to keep my current my current seeder, or get a different one that's not quite as big as the one I have, just to touch up on the corners if I can't make turns or whatnot. Either that or plant grass where my seeder can't reach and just make the lines more smooth on the turnarounds and whatnot. I'll tell you what, these contours here on this field and down in this area, they're already really tight with a 12-meter seeder, so something that's 50% larger, an 18-meter seeder, would be probably impossible. Plus, it's much longer, like lengthwise, because it's got a whole extra cart. It doesn't carry the seed directly on the seeder, it carries it on the tank behind it. So right now I would lean towards getting that 18-meter seeder, but also buying something cheaper and small, plant on the corners where the big seeder can't reach. So I'd use the big seeder and just like when I come down in this area, I would just do a lap and probably turn here and just go straight along there instead of going into these little cutouts. Just leave them bare and we can come back through with another seeder. Touch them up. And there's some pretty cheap seeders. I don't know if I have them installed. I don't. But you can get some pretty small and cheap seeders for like 30 grand, even 10, 15 grand if you get a modded one. But a reason to switch to no-till instead of tillage would be, of course, to get that environmental benefit when I switch up towards what's called precision farming DLC. I think I had it turned on, but I turned it off, so I want to turn it back on again after this harvest. The annoying part of that is that I'm going to have to spread lime on all these fields, though. And if I paid for the soil information to figure out what types of soil is on the field, I won't get that money back. I'll have to spend it again. It's just not an ideal situation. I don't think I'll be able to run much of a worker on this field, but I'll still try. I think down the middle it might work, but then on the ends of the field, it's going to make it weird if I use a worker. Like this area here where I'm at right now, the worker's not going to come all the way up here and do this part. shoot, I'm almost full. I about drove through my crops again. Ooh, almost went in the ditch. I've done that in real life. Took a turn on from the field onto a gravel road a little too wide and dipped the left side tires into a ditch. And the auger wagon was still going straight, so its weight kind of pushed me forward. But thankfully, it was able to hold on and didn't quite go all the way down in the ditch. So I just throttled up and rolled right out of there. But that was a little scary. I'll try and illustrate. Obviously, this isn't a gravel road, but I was coming out of a field onto a gravel road and turned. The left side front duals went like that, yeah, airborne like they are right now. The weight from this grain cart behind me pushed me, so it snapped. And yeah, not quite a jackknife, but it tried to a little bit. The wheels didn't touch the drawbar on the back, but it was close. I did have a turning signal on the side of the combine smash into the side of the grain cart. But thankfully, since the grain cart was narrower than the duals, the grain cart didn't try and go in the ditch when I powered up and out of there, because that would have been bad. It was fully loaded. I was literally going on a gravel road to go up to the semi and unload. In hindsight, I probably should have just floored the throttle when I started to slip in. Instead, I hit the brakes and took off power, which obviously it was fine, but if it were going to go in, you'd want to just throttle out so that it didn't try and roll into the ditch. What my uncle who watched the whole thing was saying. That if that ever happens again, you gotta just throttle out of there, because it could have been bad if that rolled. I don't plan on it happening again, but you never know. Intuitively, it made sense to brake, so that's what I did. But I guess it would be better to throttle up and out. To be fair, I didn't wait that long. I only sat teetering on the edge of the ditch for like maybe 10-15 seconds to look around and make sure nothing was too badly damaged. And then throttle up and out of there. Oops. Don't fall off the bridge. That's probably the only time I've put that tractor at max RPMs. I think it's probably the only time. There's never been a time where I've needed it at max RPMs. And I don't think I had the front wheel assist on. It's a 4-wheel drive tractor, but it was not articulating like my Massey Ferguson here, so it steered with the front wheels instead of steering on a hitch in the middle of the vehicle. So, because I didn't even know it had front wheel assist, I thought it was a 2-wheel drive. When I say articulating versus regular, this is a regular tractor. It steers with the front wheels. Articulating steers with the entire frame of the tractor. So it was not articulating, but the front wheels did have a front wheel assist, so essentially you could turn it into a 4-wheel drive. had to use that before, but I didn't know about it at that time, so that would have been better to use in case I was getting stuck, but it powered on up and out of there. In all honesty, the ditch probably wasn't steep enough for the tractor to roll, so the reason it slid was because the left side duals were on the flat road and they dipped down, and then whenever they found the edge of the grass in the ditch, so it's kind of straddling the edge of the ditch, they found traction and were able to get up and out. So, yeah. Was a scary situation for a, gosh, how old would I have been at that time? I think I was 16. Could have been, I think I was 16. I could have been 17 or 18, but I'm pretty sure that was when I was 16. But I mean, that the tractor has a really good roll cage, so if it did roll, it would be fine. And I usually drive with my seatbelt on. I'm weird like that. A lot of farmers I know don't. But it would have just been a bad deal, because that's the house right there that you just rolled and destroyed. There's the price point. I'm gonna, gosh. Okay, I'll just wait. Yeah, look at this. This header isn't quite as wide as it should be. It looks a little too narrow. Kind of bending it down on the side of it. Obviously, this would all be cut. Or bent out of the way. That's why it's narrow at the tip of it. And it widens and flares out as it goes. Bend these stuff out of the way. Put that point down at the bottom of the nose. As you can see there, the little yellow standpipe on it. That point separates between what's cut and not. That's not, I mean, it doesn't work like that in the game, which is understandable. A little annoying. I swear I'm not missing pieces. I'm hitting everything with the harvester. Just, it's not accurate. Unsatisfying to miss little bits and pieces, so I try not to. It hurts my soul just as much as it does yours when you're watching. I don't know if y'all heard the hydraulic hissing of the brakes there. I don't know when I discovered that. Some tractors, if you just tap the brakes like repeatedly as you're slowing down, they make a little hissing noise. You could just keep doing that as much as you want. Now I can unload the semi. Didn't quite have enough in the auger wagon to fill it up last time. if I do end up buying a new field with the money we made from this year, I'm going to try really hard for it to be field 66, or sorry, field 29, farmland 66. Yeah, look at that. Look at the weird shape it's making. I told you it would do that. It's got the weird ears in all the four corners. The rest of it I'll have to do by hand. But if I can afford a new field, it depends, because I will prioritize. Sorry for the southern ball there. I will prioritize equipment over land, but I would like to get land and equipment. So I don't know if I'll have 290 grand left over after getting the equipment that I want. I'm still trying to get out of debt, so I don't think I'll take out another loan. See if I'm renting anything other than this combine here. No, that's good. Closer to being done. Yotes. This next one right in front of me could probably run a worker while I take the semi back. It won't take very long, but I'll at least do something while I'm driving the semi. I mean, I could try to have the AI worker go and unload the semi for me. But they usually don't line up quite right to unload into the grain bins, unless they've been placed. Again, the base game maps are a lot better. Or something like a tipper trailer instead of a semi-hopper trailer. Would work a lot better. Real quick, we can take this corner here. I'll be going 50. I'm going to cut in front of the telephone pole. Ooh, that was rough. Probably shouldn't have done that. Pad is barely big enough to fit all three hopper unload points on this trailer. I prefer trailers with only a single unload point, so you can just unload the entire trailer at once, but sometimes it is nice to have. You could put like corn in the front and beans in the back. So if you have like only 5,000 liters full of one crop and you have 10,000 of the other, instead of having to take a single trip for each one, just take one trip for both of them together, and that's nice. Oh, I meant to hop in here and unload it. I don't think I'll need to get the semi back over here, so we can leave it at the field, or at the farm. Depends on how full that auger wagon is. Ooh, I think it'll make it. Should be able to fit all the grain left on the field in the auger wagon and the combine's hopper just fine. But if we can't, that's not the worst problem to have, because that means more money. It means we're yielding really well. Which we have been, to be fair. I did not expect to have this much oats. Once we get all this in the grain bin, we'll be able to see just how much we have. Get a final total. I'm gonna park this back where it goes. Back behind the house there. No, I'm not, because I'll need to dump the auger wagon into it. Let's back it up a little bit here and take that trailer back off for all the cover. There we go. Probably only about 10 minutes out from starting to bale straw. That's been something I've really enjoyed lately. Baling straw. Make sure I get those couple bits up there I missed. Check through the used vehicle market, even though I can't afford anything right now. So something like this is what I'm talking about. If we got that big air seeder, we'd have to get something small like this to touch up on the sides where we can't fit. And we could jump straight into like a 9R or this quad track if I didn't want to get something new, or this versatile, get something a little bigger than my Massey, but not something quite as big as the 715. I like 8030s too, those are always an option. But that has less horsepower than what I got right now, I think. Let me see, how much does the Massey have? Yeah, 375, that's what I thought it had. And I could just jump up to something like this. It's only 0.8 meters bigger than my current seeder, but it is direct drill, so it's a little bigger and it'll drill directly. So, and that's an option I don't need a bigger combine or tractor for, so that could be a good option. And I could use a big planter too, that'd be nice. Get that 40% off. Okay, not a ton of options, but there's decent stuff in there. My planter right now is probably my cheapest piece of equipment we've got. I think it was about 30 grand. But that's because there's only one plant or one crop that you really grow with a planter up in Saskatchewan. I don't even know if they do a lot of soybeans, to be honest. And you could do soybeans with a seeder. Okay, I'm gonna use the landscaping tool like right now to get this thing cleaned up around this billboard, because you can't get the crops out from beside it. You can't plant next to it. So I'm gonna cut this corner a little shallower. Hopefully I've got enough money for it. This landscaping stuff is expensive. There we go. That wasn't too bad, price-wise. Yeah, so it doesn't look great. It definitely looks like it wants to curve up and around the billboard to keep that nice curve going, but that's fine. That's good enough. Does it have a grass to put back on it? Just make that look a little more... There we go. Okay. That looks good. Get this thing folded up. Oh, gotta wait till the auger's down. I always forget that. We're gonna switch up to do some straw. Ooh. I just flipped my header trailer over. We have to turn on the super strength for a rare occurrence. I don't usually use that on realistic playthroughs like this. Not super realistic. Everyone close your eyes. And my identity as the world's strongest man getting out. Don't tell this guy I'm driving in this field either. Actually did pretty good backing that thing up. Tandem trailer like that. Ooh. I guess not a tandem trailer, but you know what I mean. Go there, please. Now we get to drive this thing all the way back to the farm. We'll unload in the semi, and then the semi will dump in the grain bin, and then we'll get to see our final total for oats. I'm wondering how many bales we're going to get off this. Not realistic, but the yield for straw mirrors the yield for your grain. So if you get good yields on grain, you'll get good yields on straw, and it's static and uniform across the whole board. So since we got a decent yield on our grain, we'll get a pretty good yield on straw everywhere throughout the whole board. So we could just bale straw for 5 minutes and then do math to figure out how many bales we'll get. I'd like to just wait and see how much we get after it's all over. I'm losing frames, I don't know why. There it's back. It does that sometimes, and I don't really know why. I'm gonna save the game, see if that helps. Maybe it's got too much writing on. Whatever. There's been times I've streamed for a couple hours, and towards the end of it, it got really grainy and gross, and I had to just stop because it looked so bad. I don't know how much it shows up for you guys, but it's annoying. Turn traffic back on. Makes the map seem more alive to have cars driving around. Here we are. Ideally, I can put this just in 2. No, I'll have to do all 3 spaces with that. This guy is just gonna turn around. Or I guess just park on this side. Couple months when it's time for soybean harvest, I can just grab the header off this trailer, whip around, and start in that field there. Close to being done. Wish you could set it to just unload all 3 automatically, but you have to manually change between the bumpers, which is, I mean, in reality, you'd have to be out of the cab, twisting the crank on the side. Well, there may be some that have automatic. You come over here and handle on there and twist that, unlock it, slide it back. Okay, grand total. How much do we have and how much is it worth? 240,000 liters of oats, almost exactly. Its maximum value, $934,000 on just oats. We haven't even harvested the soybeans yet, or the straw. That's crazy. That might be a $2 million yield. You might be able to get a lot of land. We are looking very lucrative right now. Granted, I do have a mod installed that nearly doubles the price of grain, just to make things progress faster, because as I say, I already get tired of things moving too slowly, and that's with the double thing on there, so. Not as hard as it could be, but it's pretty, I don't know, I like the pacing that we get with those settings, so I'm gonna keep it going. That back as far as we'll go. I'll park this thing in here. And I think I'll wait till tomorrow to bale all the straw and everything. So we're going to end it here. It's lunchtime and I'm hungry. I didn't really plan the timing of this very well. We might do it tomorrow. I might just wait. Thanks for checking in, guys. And yeah, this has been good. I got my settings and everything figured out. I'd like to figure out some background music or something before we do uh, Farming Simulator 25 streams, but I think it's been, yeah, fairly good. Let me know what you think about uh, audio levels and everything in the comments if you'd like. But I'll see you next time. Thanks for checking in.